All right, joining us now, as she does every weekday at this time, is Grace Curley with the news.
And Howie, you bring up a great point with the Capuano cut because, as you pointed out, he was later beaten by Ayanna Pressley. And This happens to a lot of old school Democrats. We saw Crowley was beaten by AOC. Yeah. And they always think that if they're woke enough or if they lean left enough that they're going to save themselves, but they very rarely do. And a lot of times I think this virtue signaling is a last ditch effort to save these people who just don't have it anymore. And a really good example of this is Chris Cuomo, because if anyone is sinking both in ratings and in reputation right now, it is Christopher Cuomo. And so he decides, all right, I know what I'll do. I'll get really woke during my monologues, even more woke than before. And then people will like me again. And it's not working. It's not working, Sally Fields. They really don't like you. So listen to this. This is one of the worst ad-lib performances I've ever seen. You know, that's the thing about Tucker Carlson. He gets a lot of heat, Howie, but you can tell he has really good writers and he really goes over his monologues and he has it down
Well, he
pat.
better go over it because everybody, Media Matters, the Washington Post, CNN, every fact checker in the world is picking his copy apart with a fine-tooth comb.
Exactly. And obviously, it's like a tree in the forest. No one's picking apart Chris Cuomo except for maybe me. Listen to this, cut 30.
And you know what the answer is? You really do. You don't like it. I don't like it. It scares me. Shootings, gun laws, access to weapons. I know when they'll change. Your kids start getting killed. White people's kids start getting killed, smoking that doobie that's actually legal probably in your state now, but they don't know what it was. And then the kid runs and it pop, 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 pop. Cop was justified. Why'd you run? Oh, he had a baseball game tonight. Oh, a white kid. Oh, big family. That house over there. Those start piling up. What is going on with these police? Oh, what? Maybe we shouldn't even have police. That kind of mania, that kind of madness, that'll be you. That'll be the majority because it's your people.
The mania and the madness is in yourself, Fredo, that your ratings have cratered. I mean, that's insanity. People aren't getting killed for smoking weed.
But what about doobies, Howie?
Look, his brother signed into law the now infamous bail reform legislation. Remember that last year? Yeah. Unless somebody's injured, you can't set bail for them. So it's the front page story in the New York Post today. A guy that has 12 prior arrests is out on the street. This is in Queens. He tries to shove an undercover Asian American NYPD cop onto the subway tracks. And he doesn't succeed, so they take him down to court, and the judge says, my hands are tied. Looking at the reporters, I guess, and the cops in the courtroom, says, my hands are tied. I can't do anything under these new bail laws, and they let the guy go. So does Chris Cuomo really think that somebody's going to be shot for smoking a joint if they're not going to be even put behind bars for the weekend after trying to kill a cop?
Well, you know what this reminds me of, and people who watch The Office will totally understand this. He's like Prison Mike. He's coming up with these hypothetical situations, and they're so bizarre. Like his idea of what regular white people think is so off base. And you wouldn't mind how for someone who's talking about white people and how racist we all are, the guy grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth. He's got a bridge named after his dad in New York. Guaranteed it's falling apart, but still. I don't have a bridge named after my family. Isn't that a little bit of white privilege?
I would say so. Let's
listen to the second one just for.
I hope it doesn't go on as long as the last one. My stomach was getting a little bilious.
Howie, that wasn't even that long. You're getting spoiled. That was pretty short. Let's play cut 31.
See, now black people start getting all guns, forming militias, protect themselves. Can't trust deep state. Hoo-hoo. You'll see a wave of change in access and accountability. We saw it in the 60s. That's when it changes, because that's when it's you.
I think he's just going off the cuff. I don't think he's going off of any cue cards or anything, Howie.
He's not thinking very well, because if you're any demographic group and you're going down and you're getting the training you need to get that license to carry, whatever it involves in whatever state you're in, you are a law-abiding citizen. And you are getting that gun permit in all likelihood because you don't like what's going on in the street with all the people that Chris Cuomo and Maxine Waters are cheering on.
Exactly. No, that's a very good point. He won't stop. Now, I wanted to talk about something else here, Howie, really quick. Biden administration. You notice how they're big on semantics. They don't want to call what's happening at the border a crisis. Everything is infrastructure. It's getting out of control. And now they're ordering CBP and ICE to stop using the term illegal alien. Mm-hmm. Now, this is something, Howie, that I remember when I was younger and I used to listen to your show. You were still talking about this because we were going from illegal to undocumented to another word. I don't even know.
Undocumented workers. I always love that one.
Right.
We turned that into undocumented Democrats.
Then it was migrants and refugees
and asylees. If you're really into the terminology of the public advocate community.
It says, according to the document, alien will become non-citizen or migrant. Illegal will be called undocumented, and assimilation will be referred to as integration.
So you can't assimilate them anymore. You could just, I thought that was the goal of the United States of America, was to assimilate. E pluribus unum, out of many, one. Or as Al Gore used to say, out of one, many. I guess that's the new one. Al Gore had it right all along, I guess.
The craziest part to me, and I had Jessica Vaughn on at one point, and she was talking about how this kind of language was in one of Biden's spending bills. These federal immigration enforcement agencies have so much going on. Like, there's guys there who are trying to take care of kids and bring kids in like food and water, and they're so overwhelmed. And then on the flip side, rather than helping them or acknowledging the problem, or maybe, Kamala or Biden going to the border, instead they're saying, make sure you use the right terminology. They've got about 800 people packed into a plastic pod, and they're worried about the language of the officers.
Biden has been asked whether he thinks it's a crisis on the border, and he said no until yesterday. And he finally stumbled and said it was a crisis. Mm-hmm. Today, the White House just now has issued a statement saying that Biden calling it a crisis does not indicate the official policy of the Biden administration.
Oh, yeah. I have sound from Psaki saying that as well.
You got that? Yeah, let's play that.
Is that now the official White House position, that there is indeed a crisis at the border?
Well, let me first say that we have made some progress in moving children from out of Border Patrol facilities into shelters. Nearly 1,000 unaccompanied minors were transferred out of CBP facilities and into the care of Health and Human Services just this weekend. We still have a lot of work to do, but that is a step forward in our view. The president does not feel that children coming to our border seeking refuge from violence, economic hardships, and other dire circumstances is a crisis. He does feel that the crisis in Central America, the dire circumstances that many are fleeing from, that is a situation we need to spend our time, our effort on, and we need to address it if we're going to prevent more of an influx of migrants from coming in years to come.
Howie, this takes me back to the ISIL days with Obama, where it's like it all becomes about the language and not talking, oh, we don't think it's this, we think. If you can't acknowledge what something is, if you can't call a spade, then you are so far behind the problem, because the first step is admitting there is a problem.
Right. And you remember in the Obama years, they called them unaccompanied minors. And in the years that went by, many, not all, but many of the unaccompanied minors actually turned into MS-13 members. And if Jen Psaki, as I call her, doesn't think this is a crisis, she should ask some of the angel moms whose kids, American kids, were murdered by these unaccompanied minors that were let in the Obama years, I should say. It's just you're right. It's back to the future, and it's really horrible. This is why Trump was elected in the first place, to put an end to this nonsense. And now they're just they're pouring gasoline on the fire.
I wonder if John Kerry's going to start telling us that some of these MS-13 gang members are only acting out because they didn't have access to fine dining
establishments.
The Chanticleer.
in the Northern Triangle.
Howie, I have one more thing to tell you, but first I want to let everyone know that you need to forget grocery store crowds. Choose from over 25 chef-created recipes every week with HelloFresh. You'll get a box on your doorstep filled with fresh, pre-portioned ingredients that in as little as 20 minutes will become delicious meals. Get 12 free meals, including free shipping, with code Howie12 at HelloFresh.com/Howie12. We are all big fans of HelloFresh. Very easy to make. And the best part is they give you the pre-portioned ingredients so you don't have any waste. All right, Howie, I just wanted to let you know that Pew Research Center poll finds President Joe Biden's job approval rating to be 59%. I just want to give you a few of the details involved in this polling in case it's important to you at all. The poll oversampled Democrats by 30 points. Of those surveyed, Democrats made up 65.5% and Republicans made up 34.5%. But congrats to Joe Biden on 59% approval.
And when they went through the actual issues, like say, the illegal alien invasion at the southern border, or gas prices going up 35% since January 20th, or any of the other packing the Supreme Court. They came down. They had huge majorities of all ethnic groups against all of those proposals. But yet he's at 59%. It's amazing, isn't it?
But Howie, that's like if I gave you a recipe to something, and then you said, "Oh yeah, I love that dish," and then I went through every single ingredient, and you hated every single one, and were allergic to them. I'd be like, "Are you sure you love the dish, or do you just think you love the dish?"
I'll go through the actual numbers of how people think about what Joe's really doing. It would be that 59%, how they really feel. Thank you, Grace. Are you coming back later?
Yes, we'll be doing Hate Mail Monday at 4:30.
All right. Okay. If you haven't tried Super Beets Heart Chews, here's what you're missing out on. It's the greatest thing going. If you want just a little burst of energy twice a day, and it's really, really good for you. It tastes like candy. It's wrapped in foil like candy, but it's good for you. Doesn't have sugar. It doesn't have caffeine. It has the ingredients that protect your heart health, your circulation, and your blood pressure. Super Beets Heart Chews. I'm holding them in my hand now. Combine non-GMO beets with a powerful new ingredient, grapeseed extract. The grapeseed extract used in Super Beets Chews has been clinically shown to be twice as effective at supporting normal blood pressure as a healthy lifestyle alone. Better blood pressure means more energy the way nature intended, without the jittery caffeine or stimulants. Now you can take just 2 delicious chews a day, anytime, anywhere, to get the blood pressure support you need and the energy you want. I take them in the morning before I go out for exercise, and then I take them during the show. I'm going to have one as soon as this segment is over.
I take them whenever you get into this ad, because I'm like Pavlov's dog with the Super Beets. Anytime you mention it, I've got to have my Super Beets fixed. So I'm going to do that right now too.
Do what I did and support your heart health with delicious Super Beets Chews. Get your Super Beets Chews today at superbeetsradio.com/Howie. When you buy 2 bags, look at that, that's a big bag too. They'll throw in the third one for free. That's superbeetsradio.com/Howie. I'm Howie Carr.